Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees at ISKCON, Soho Street. Today we are reading from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, third chapter, this beautiful shloka, 15th shloka, that's describing the qualities of Parikshit Maharaj as a Mahabhagavata devotee. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandavayo Maharatha. So he is a Mahabhagavata devotee, as Prabhupada writes here, Nitya Siddha devotee. And the specific quality of this devotee highlighted in this beautiful shloka is Bala Kridanakaihi Kridan Krishna Kridanya Adadi. As a small child, he wouldn't just play normal games like other kids. Krishna Kridan. His play is worshipping the dolls of Krishna, worshipping the deities of Krishna. And he is imitating the elders in the family and is playing like that. So Prabhupada appreciates this culture. First, Prabhupada says that fortunate people take birth in the families of Vaishnavas. Prabhupada says lucky devotees, lucky Vaishnava families. All the kids in Vaishnava families are very lucky. So they get an opportunity to imitate the worship done by their elders, and they also personally worship the deities, and thus they are in Krishna conscious spirit right from childhood. So Prabhupada says that even if somebody doesn't complete one's spiritual life in one janma, in one lifetime, still Krishna mercifully gives them an opportunity to continue their practice of bhakti in the next life. As Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Neha bhikramana sosti pratyavayo na vidyate svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So, Neha bhikramana sosti pratyavayo na vidyate. Even if somebody practices bhakti and doesn't complete the bhakti in terms of attaining perfection, still they are not losers. There is no failure in this path of yoga. There is no diminution in the path of yoga. There is only decrease. There is no decrease of spiritual credits. So one will continue the practice of bhakti even in the next life. So fortunate as those children who are born in Vaishnava families and who got exposure to practice bhakti right from their childhood. As Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumara acharet pragno dharman bhagavataniha. Intelligent people start practicing bhakti right from their childhood. Because attaining human form of life is very rare, and one has to effectively utilize that human life by practicing bhakti right from beginning and not even wasting the childhood years in some just ordinary games, right? Of course, children have to play, but some of the children mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam are very special children. One child here is Parikshit Maharaj. As a small child, his krida, his games are just worshipping Krishna's deities, right? Krishna Kridan, they are called Krishna sports, not normal sports. Similarly, we have the example of Uddhava in the third canto of Bhagavatam. Second canto is giving this example of child Parikshit. Third canto gives the example of child Uddhava. Uddhava, as a small child, he was absorbed in worshipping the deities of Krishna, dolls of Krishna. His mother would call him for breakfast. Uddhava, little Uddhava, come here and take your breakfast. He says, no, I am very busy, mom. I am worshipping the deities of Krishna. Uddhava is another wonderful devotee. In the initial chapters of the third canto of Bhagavatam, it's mentioned that Kalena jarasangataha bhartur padavanusmaran. When Vidura meets Uddhava, Vidura asks Uddhava several questions about Krishna. How is Krishna? He must be coming from Dwaraka. I left Hastinapur long back. Duryodhan banished me. I am wandering in these holy places on the banks of different rivers, taking darshan of different deities. I am on a pilgrimage for a long time. Finally, I met you because of my good fortune, my dear Uddhava. Can you please tell me how Krishna is? So Vidura asked Uddhava in this way. Then Uddhava, Bhartuhu Padavanusmaran, he just remembered his Bharta, his master, Krishna, and he went into trance for one muhurta, 48 minutes. For 48 minutes, Uddhava went into trance, and then he came back. Then Sukadeva Goswami says that as soon as Uddhava heard some inquiries about Krishna from Vidura, Uddhava went into an ecstatic remembrance of Krishna that he did not even speak for 48 minutes. When you ask someone a question, and if they don't speak for 48 minutes, and if they go into trance, you feel that they don't know the answer, or you feel that they don't want to answer me, or you feel that they are so spaced out, or you clear the place, or you may think that I'll figure out answer on my own, or I'll ask somebody else. But Vidura did not feel like that. Vidura understood. Because I asked Uddhava about Krishna, Uddhava was overwhelmed with thoughts of Krishna, remembrance of Krishna, and he's unable to speak because he's overwhelmed. He's unable to speak now. He could understand his ecstasy. It takes one to know one. Because Vidura himself is also very exalted devotee, he could understand the ecstasies of Uddhava. In that context, Sukadeva Goswami says, because Uddhava was accustomed to worship Krishna right from childhood, although he became very old now, Kalena Jarasangataha means he became very old in advanced age, still he was in similar spirits of remembering Krishna and absorbed in the memories of Krishna. Because right from childhood, he has been worshipping Krishna dolls, compromising on his breakfast also, so absorbed. That is Uddhava. Then in the first canto of Bhagavatam, we are seeing different kids in different cantos. Second canto, child Parikshit. Third canto, child Uddhava. Now let's go to first canto. I don't know the name of this child, but in the next life, this child became Narada Muni. In his past life, Narada Muni was the son of a maid servant, 5-year-old child. And that maid servant was doing some service in a school. And during the monsoon season, some sages called the Bhaktivedanta sages came there. And they decided to stay there only for the next 4 months, do some austerities, do some Katha, and do some worship and some spiritual gatherings. So thus this maid servant son, this child, 5-year-old child, got an opportunity to associate with Bhaktivedanta sages and hear Krishna Katha when they are discussing and do some service to them, get some flowers or fruits or whatever they need for their worship, and also eat their remnants, eat some food that is left over. And that's how he became so developed in his Krishna consciousness that he passed through all the stages of bhakti, shraddha, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, and eventually he came to the stage of prema. All by the association of Bhaktivedanta sages at the age of 5. 5-year-old child becoming a pure devotee in the association of devotees. Others, you see, 5-year-old children, they are born in Vaishnava families and they are nicely worshipping the deities of Krishna. Although this son of maid servant did not have that, at least it's not mentioned that he is worshipping the deities of Krishna, but he assisted in the worship of Krishna when the Bhaktivedanta sages came there. He heard Krishna Katha from them. Eventually he became Narada Muni. So this child, in the association of Bhaktivedanta sages, he heard so many pastimes of Krishna and they inspired him in Bhakti Yoga, they initiated him before leaving, and he continued the practices taught by them. And eventually when his mother died, he went on traveling. 5-year-old child. He's traveling through different cities and towns and villages. And eventually he came to a water body. He drank some water. He was a bit tired. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. Hare Krishna. So he drank some water, sat under a tree and started meditating on the Lord. He followed the process of meditation as taught by the sages, Bhaktivedanta sages. And he could see the Lord within his heart. But he lost that darshan. Later the Lord spoke to him. My dear child, please continue your practice of bhakti. Right? Eventually you will be able to see me. Whenever you want to see me, you will be able to see me. And thus he became Narada Muni. Childhood impressions are very strong. And let's go to 4th canto of Bhagavatam. In the 4th canto we have the most popular child prince, Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva at the age of 5, he was insulted by his stepmother Suruchi, and he was guided by his mother Suniti to take shelter of Krishna. Dhruva left the palace. He went into the forest. Fortunately, he met his guru Narada Muni, as Prabhupada says here, our spiritual master Sri Narada Muni, who has been a small child in the previous birth, who has practiced bhakti and became so advanced in bhakti in the association of Bhaktivedanta sages at the age of 5. So that Narada Muni now is guiding another 5-year-old child. So this Dhruva learned from Narada Muni this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So he was chanting that mantra for 6 months, and within 6 months, Dhruva got the darshan of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. He became a pure devotee. And within 36,000 years, he went to the spiritual world. This is practice of bhakti in childhood. And the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, do we have any such instances? 5th canto describes Priyavrata Maharaj, then Agnidhra, Nabhi Maharaj, then Nabhi Maharaj's son is Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev's son is Bharat Maharaj, and his story is described, and rest is cosmology. Specifically, childhood stories are not mentioned. Of course, many of the names who appeared in the Priyavrata Maharaj dynasty must have practiced bhakti from their childhood. Then we'll go to 7th canto Bhagavatam. Another child, Prahlad Maharaj. He has become a devotee within his womb only, within his mother's womb only. So Narada Muni, again, Narada Muni is there here in Prahlad Maharaj's story also. In fact, every single canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes the activities of Narada Muni. No canto of Bhagavatam is without Narada Muni's mention. Either small role or big role, he is playing an important role in every canto of Bhagavatam. So when Hiranyakashipu's wife Kayadu was being kidnapped by the Devatas, Narada Muni came and stopped them and asked them, why are you kidnapping? Why are you kidnapping this innocent lady who is the wife of another man? Then the Devatas said that we don't intend to harm her, but she is carrying the son of a great demon named Hiranyakashipu in her womb. Just as Hiranyakashipu is a great demon, his son also will become a demon. So as soon as this lady gives birth to this child, we want to destroy that child. Then Narada Muni said, where is it mentioned that a demon's child also will become a demon? Don't think like that. This little child in the womb of this lady, he will become a pure devotee, Mahabhagavata devotee. He will not become another demon like Hiranyakashipu. You should not worry about it. Then as soon as these Devatas heard this statement from Narada Muni, they immediately trusted. Although Narada Muni's words are not believable, he is saying that Hiranyakashipu's son will become a pure devotee, Mahabhagavata devotee, better devotee than all the Devatas. It's unbelievable. But they believed. That's the potency of Narada Muni's words. Immediately these Devatas circumambulated Kayadu, offered her obeisances, offered obeisance to the child in the womb of Kayadu, and left her in the care of Narada Muni and left. Then Narada Muni took her to his ashram and started speaking Krishna Katha. But Kayadu could not hear Krishna Katha. She could not focus on Krishna Katha because she was anxious. When will my husband come back? What will happen to my child? When there is some anxiety in the mind, we can't hear Krishna Katha. We may sit in the class, but we may think of something else. Right? When there is more anxiety, we will not sit in the class only. It doesn't make much sense. Why did you not come for the class? Because I have so many anxieties. Because you have so many anxieties, you have to come for the class. It's like saying that, why did you not take food? Because I'm very hungry. Why did you not take medicine? Because I'm very sick. Does it make any sense? If a sick person says he's not taking medicine because he's sick, it doesn't make sense. If a hungry man says that because he's hungry he's not taking any food, it doesn't make any sense. Similarly, if a conditioned soul says that because I am filled with material miseries I am not practicing bhakti, it also doesn't make sense. Because you are engrossed in material miseries, you have to take shelter of bhakti. Right? Only bhakti can relieve you from all shoka, moha and bhaya. Right? And hearing Srimad Bhagavatam will relieve us from all shoka, moha and bhaya. Yasyam vai sruya bandayam krishne paramapurushe bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha shoka moha bhayapaha. So by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we develop bhakti unto Krishna, and all our shoka, lamentation about the past, moha, illusion about the present, and bhaya, fears about the future, all three will be destroyed by hearing Bhagavatam and by developing bhakti unto Krishna. Right? But somehow, even while hearing Krishna Katha, Mother Kayadu was anxious. She was into shoka, moha and bhaya, probably. So, definitely she was fearful about her child. She was anxious about her husband. She could not focus. But the child within her womb, Prahlad Maharaj could concentrate on what Narada Muni was speaking. He could hear Krishna Katha. He heard so attentively that he became a pure devotee, even before taking birth. He was born as a Mahabhagavat devotee by Narada Muni's grace. So, when the speaker of Krishna Katha is potent and a sincere devotee of Krishna, and when the hearer of Krishna Katha is very sincere and eager to hear, that combination is amazing, and definitely transformation of the heart is bound to happen. Although the external circumstances may not be so favorable, Prahlad was the son of a demon. Prahlad Maharaj was within the womb of his mother. Still, that external situation of Prahlad Maharaj was not a barrier for him to receive some inspiration from Narada Muni. And Narada Muni, because he was a very potent teacher, he is a pure devotee himself, he could easily pass that devotional inspiration. He could transmit that devotional inspiration and knowledge to Prahlad Maharaj, although he was in the womb. Age doesn't matter. External, physical situation doesn't matter. Anyone can develop devotion to Krishna by the grace of a devotee. So Prahlad Maharaj could receive inspiration from Narada Muni even in such external setting. So this proves, like even Parikshit Maharaj also, he had the opportunity of seeing the Supreme Lord Krishna within the womb of his mother. When Ashwathama released the Brahmastra to kill Parikshit Maharaj within the womb of Mother Uttara, then Uttara came running to Krishna, offering prayers. Krishna, please protect me. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam tvadabhayam pashyet yatra mrityuh parasparam. O Mahayogin, Krishna, Deva Deva, O God of all gods, Jagatpate, O Lord of the universe, Jagannath, Deva Deva Jagatpate, na anyam tada bhayam pashyet, I don't see anyone else other than you who can give me abhayam, who can enlighten me, who can save me from this fearful situation. Only you can save. So please protect me. That's what our Uttara Mata said. Then Krishna immediately entered her womb. Angushthamatra mamalam sphurat puratamaulinam apivyadarsanam shyamam taditvasa samachyutam. Angushthamatra mamalam. Krishna took thumb size form and entered into the womb of Mother Uttara and saved Parikshit Maharaj with his own prowess. And Parikshit is a devotee from childhood. Before even birth he saw. And as soon as he took birth, as a small child also, he would examine everyone. Is he the person whom I have seen in the womb of my mother? Before coming out of my mother's womb, I have seen some personality who is wearing yellow dhoti, who is bluish in color, who is effulgent. Is he the person? He is examining everyone. Because he is examining everyone like that, he is called Parikshit. Pariksha means exam. So he became Parikshit because of very carefully observing everyone, whether they are Krishna or not. So somehow or the other, if parents try to become Krishna conscious and train their children in Krishna consciousness, or perform devotional service themselves while conceiving the child, or while holding the child in the womb, or when the child is very small, when they practice bhakti right in front of them, all these children will become great devotees. Because they accumulate all those devotional impressions, spiritual impressions right from childhood. Srila Prabhupada in this purport, he gives his own example. That in our childhood, we saw our father Gaurmohande performing so much of devotional service. According to the Leelamrit, it's mentioned that Gaurmohande would offer prayers for Srila Prabhupada. Let my son become a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. Prabhupada, along with his sister, he would go and worship Radha Govinda deities, even as small children. One day Prabhupada wanted to conduct Rath Yatra when he was a small child, at the age of 5. And Gaurmohande went to the market to purchase a small chariot for Prabhupada, at that time Abhay Charan. But the chariot was expensive, they could not afford. Then Prabhupada started crying. Abhay Charan started crying. Then one old lady saw this child crying and said, "What do you want?" Said, "I want to conduct Rath Yatra, I don't have a cart." Then she had an old cart and she gave it to this boy, and that was little repaired, renovated, refurbished, whatever you may call, renewed. And Prabhupada conducted Rath Yatra with all other little children, right? Devotional impressions. Prabhupada was always fascinated. He would check these railway charts. When is the next train to Jagannath Puri? I want to go there and attend Rath Yatra. And he brought Rath Yatra to different parts of the globe. So Prabhupada is remembering his childhood days. And he says, even my Guru Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also had a Vaishnava father, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who was praying for a ray of Vishnu, praying that his child becomes a pure devotee. Like that, parents play a very significant role in the lives of their children, spiritual lives of their children. The kind of training they give, the prayers that they offer, the inspiration that they give, the personal example that they set, and the consciousness that they maintain while conceiving the child or while giving birth to the child, all this will have a tremendous amount of impact on the spiritual lives of the children. You know Agnidhara? He was the son of Priyavrata Maharaj. Priyavrata Maharaj was an exalted devotee, no doubt. But his son Agnidhara developed some desire to enter Pitraloka. He became Pitraloka Kama. Means he was desirous of entering Pitraloka. Actually, devotees desire to enter Goloka, right? Or Vaikuntha Loka. The spiritual world, why Pitraloka? Or even a devotee doesn't even want to enter Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka. They want to serve Krishna wherever they are. Narayana para sarve nakutaschana bibhyati swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshinaha. Right? Narayana para sarve. those who are dedicated to Lord Narayana, they consider Swarga, Apavarga, Naraka. Swarga means heaven, Apavarga means liberation, Naraka means hell. All three are same for them. Because wherever they go, they practice Hare Krishna. They practice Bhakti and they chant Hare Krishna. So thus, any place is same for them. But Agnidhra specifically developed a desire to enter Pitraloka. Why so? Bhagavatam explains that Priyavrata Maharaj, while conceiving this child Agnidhra, he became very lusty. He wasn't prayerful. Although he was a nice devotee, for a moment he became very lusty while conceiving the child. Therefore, the child developed this kind of mentality, this kind of desire. Right? So, this shows how the consciousness of the parents will affect their children also. Right? Means they invite such kind of soul into their family by the kind of consciousness that they maintain while conceiving the child or giving birth to the child. So Prabhupada is giving so many examples of himself, of his spiritual master, then Narada Muni, then Parikshit Maharaj, and we recollected many other related examples like Uddhava, Prahlad Maharaj, and another example is Srimati Radharani herself. Srimati Radharani, when she was a small child, she would worship Krishna dolls. While all her sakhis were playing, she would just go in a corner and she would worship some small deities of Krishna. And once Dhruva Muni came there, all these little girls, they just ran away and Radharani was standing there with folded hands, with respect. Then Dhruva Muni blessed her. Whatever you cook, let that be sweeter than nectar, tastier than nectar. And Srimati Yashoda Mata came to know that Radharani received this special blessing from Dhruva Muni, and Radharani was called by Yashoda Mata to cook for Krishna daily near Pavan Sarovar. So Radharani is also given as an example of being Krishna conscious right from her childhood. She is the supreme goddess of devotion. But when she manifested in this material world, so she was Krishna conscious right from childhood. So childhood impressions are important. And the background doesn't matter. Even a small child also can become an exalted devotee. That's the theme of Prabhupada's purport also here. Whatever may be the background, Bhakti can uplift a person. Bhakti can purify the consciousness of a person. Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kimunama rupamadhikam kim tad sudamno dhanam vamshah ko vidurasya yadavapater ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunaihi bhakti priyo madhava. Vyadhasya acharanam. This hunter named Vyadha, what etiquette does he know? What culture does he know? But still, he practiced bhakti and became dear to Krishna. Vyadhasya acharanam. Dhruvasya chavayo. What is the age of Dhruva Maharaj? He was a 5-year-old child. But still, by practicing bhakti, he became dear to Krishna. So, age doesn't matter. Background and cultural background doesn't matter. Right? Then age doesn't matter. Even a child can become a Mahabhag devotee. Vidya gajendrasya ka. Does physical beauty, physical attractiveness, does it matter? What is the beauty of Kubja? She was a hunchback woman. But still, she rendered sincere service to Krishna by offering some sandalwood pulp and other cosmetics, and she became a recipient of Krishna's mercy. So, physical beauty doesn't matter. Does wealth matter? Wealth doesn't matter. Because wealth is not a qualification. Wealth is neither qualification nor disqualification to receive Krishna's grace. Because Sudama did not have any wealth. Kim tad sudamno dhanam. Vamsha. Does one's dynasty or great family matter? Not necessary. No, definitely. Here Prabhupada mentions that Because Parikshit Maharaj was born in the family of Vaishnavas, he himself also became an exalted Vaishnava. Thus, family background has its role to play if they are Vaishnavas. But even if somebody happens to take birth in an Avaishnava family also, somehow or the other, if they come in contact with the pure devotee, that family background doesn't matter. They themselves can become pure devotees. Parikshit Maharaj was born in a Vaishnava family, Pandavas family, Kuru dynasty. But if you see, Bali Maharaj was born in a Rakshasa dynasty. Prahlad Maharaj was born in a Rakshasa dynasty. Vritrasura was also born as a Rakshasa, as a demon. But that demonic background didn't matter. Right? When somehow or the other, if we come into contact with the process of Bhakti Yoga, come in contact with the mercy of a pure devotee, that is sufficient. Right? Vyadhasya acharanam dhruvasya chavayo vidya gajendrasya ka. Does educational qualification matter? What was the educational qualification of South Indian Brahman who was unable to read Bhagavad Gita properly? He was an illiterate, he was uneducated. He is unable to read the shlokas or pronounce the shlokas properly. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to the South Indian Brahmana, "Oh Brahmana, whatever you understood from Bhagavad Gita, that is the essence of Bhagavad Gita." He is unable to read Bhagavad Gita, but whatever he understands is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Who is saying this? The speaker of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, in the form of sannyasi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying this. Here speaker is qualifying. I taught Bhagavad Gita, but I am assuring that you know the essence of Bhagavad Gita. I never even read it, but you know the essence. How does he know? Because of his obedience to his spiritual master. Because the South Indian Brahmana was instructed by his guru to study Bhagavad Gita. Although he is illiterate, he is trying to study that Bhagavad Gita because guru told me. And secondly, he was able to appreciate the wonderful quality of Krishna, which is Bhakta Vatsalyata. Whenever he opens Bhagavad Gita, he only remembers Krishna playing the role of the chariot driver of Arjuna. Despite being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was driving the chariot of his devotee, Arjuna. And this Brahmana, South Indian Brahmana, was mesmerized how much affection that my Lord has for his devotees. He automatically sheds tears of love and affection and appreciation for Krishna by remembering this quality of Krishna. Means he developed love for Krishna, devotion to Krishna. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And the speaker of Bhagavad Gita is saying that you understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, scholarship and educational background is neither qualification nor disqualification for Krishna's mercy. Vidya Gajendrasya. Gajendra was not a Pandit, simple elephant. Kubja yah kimu nama rupamadhikam kim tad sudham no dhanam vamshah ko vidurasya yadavapater ugrasya kim paurusham. Vamsha, one's family background doesn't matter because Vidura was born as the son of a maid servant. He was a Dasi Putra. Still he is an exalted devotee. Ugrasya kim paurusham. Ugrasena Maharaj. He was a king, but he was not known as a very courageous king who won so many battles. It's very simple. He was arrested by Kamsa. Krishna came and released him and again enthroned him. Although Ugrasen Maharaj was not very well known for his bravery or courage, he is a great devotee of Krishna. Right? So Krishna is pleased only with devotion. Bhaktya tushyati kevalam na chagunaihi bhakti priyo madhava. Bhaktya tushyati. The Lord is satisfied only with bhakti. Bhakti priyo madhava. Lord Madhava is bhakti priya. One who performs bhakti is very dear to him. So anyone at any age, from any background, with any kind of qualification or disqualification, they can practice bhakti under the guidance of a pure devotee. It doesn't matter. Kirata hunandhra pulinda pulkasha abhira shumbha yavanah khasadayah yenye cha papa yadapashraya shrayah shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namah. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, Abhira, Shumbha, Yavana, Khasadaya. These are names of different tribes or different sects. Bhagavatam second canto says, in this canto only, we are reading second canto now. In this canto only this shloka comes. But whatever may be their background, Yenyecha Papa Yadapashrayashrayaha. Yenyecha Papa, even if they are coming from very, very sinful background, Yadapashrayashrayaha, if they take shelter of those who have taken shelter of Krishna, Shuddhyanti tasmai prabhavishnave namaha, they'll completely be purified. Shuddhyanti, they're completely purified. Because they have taken shelter of devotees of Krishna. If we take shelter of one who has taken shelter of Krishna, that is sufficient prerequisite to attain Krishna's grace, to attain Krishna himself. No other qualification or disqualification is of any relevance in the context of Bhakti Yoga. Akamaha sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradhihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Akama, whether we have no material desires, sarva kamova, you have all kinds of material desires, moksha kama, you are specifically desiring liberation, still all of us should perform Bhakti Yoga only. Right? Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Then let's worship the Supreme Lord with tivra bhakti, with intense bhakti, devotion. That is sufficient. Right? In bhakti, we should have the right intention and we should also have the right intensity. Right? Sometimes intentions may be pure. One may have pure intention to worship Krishna, to serve Krishna, to associate with devotees, to attain Krishna prema. The intention is there. But most of the sadhaka bhaktas. But just the intention is not sufficient. Intensity also has to be there. Intensity means consistency in practice, being prayerful, not wasting time, avyartha kalatvam. Utilizing whatever money, manpower, resources, time, energy we have in the service of Krishna. That is intention and intensity. Now this room is illuminated by so many bulbs here. So many lamps are here. But if there is only one lamp in that one corner, this entire room will not be lit up. Because the intensity of that little lamp is not sufficient to illuminate the entire room, temple room. Right? So we need more bulbs or a bigger bulb of greater intensity. Then we will have light throughout the room. Similarly, a struggling sadhaka also is performing bhakti. He is reading the same book, Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? They're reading the same book, Bhagavatam. Oh, Radha Krishna deities are here. And even a pure devotee is also reading the same book, Bhagavatam. Similarly, a struggling sadhaka is also chanting the same mantra, harekrishna Maha Mantra, and a very advanced devotee is also chanting the same mantra. But what is the difference between a struggling sadhaka and an advanced devotee? Intensity of practice. Advanced devotee also has 24 hours in a day. Struggling sadhaka also has 24 hours in a day. Right? But the intensity matters. Both parties may chant the same mantra, but what is the intensity of their devotion? Prabhupada writes in the first canto, 8th chapter, quality of feeling. Kunti Maharani's prayer. Quality of feeling matters. Shrinvanti gayanti granantya bhikshnashaha smaranti nandanti tavehitam janaha tayeva pashyantya chirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. Shrinvanti, hear about Krishna. Gayanti. Gayanti means to glorify Krishna or sing the glories of the Lord. Either in the form of singing or speaking, you glorify the Lord. Gayanti. Grananti abhikshnasaha. Accept this whole teachings of Krishna consciousness in your heart and abhikshnasaha. Constantly practice them. Smaranti. Remember the Lord. Nandanti tava ihitam janaha. Means take pleasure when others are glorifying Krishna. Such people, tayeva pashyantya chirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. Such people who are engrossed in bhakti, absorbed in bhakti, and take pleasure to see others practicing bhakti, such people will go back to Godhead. They will attain the lotus feet of Krishna. They will transcend this pravaha of bhava pravaha. Means they will transcend the flow of the material modes. That's what Kunti says. But Prabhupada writes in those purports of Kunti's prayers, Kunti Maharani's prayers, that yes, this practice is great, but what we need is the intensity in that practice. What we need is quality of feeling. Especially in the context of Janmaishwarya Shrita Shribhir Edhamana Madah Puman Naivarhatya Bhidhatum Vai Tvama Kinchana Gocharam. In that context, Prabhupada says that those who are overly identifying themselves with their high birth, high qualifications, and beauty, wealth, scholarship, etc., they cannot address the Lord with intensity of feeling, quality of feeling. One who does not have all these material attributes, such people will be able to address the Lord with quality feeling. But those who are materially satisfied, those who are in a materially comfortable situation, they may not be able to address the Lord with a sincere feeling. That does not mean that every poor person is a pure devotee and every wealthy person is not a devotee. That's not the meaning here. You may have possessions, not a problem, but don't be possessive about the possessions. Don't overly identify with the possessions. Don't be proud and puffed up of these possessions. Having possessions is not problem. Having scholarship is not problem. Having beauty is not a problem. Having wealth is not problem. But overly identifying oneself with those possessions or these privileges and becoming proud and puffed up of that, that is the problem. If one is very proud and arrogant and puffed up, seeing one's own material qualifications and positions, such people cannot depend on the Lord. They cannot take shelter of the Lord. That intensity of bhakti that we were talking about 2-3 minutes back, that doesn't come in them. Because they are in a materially comfortable situation. So intensity. Tivrena bhakti yogena. That's what is recommended by the scriptures. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. The supreme dharma of all living beings is to perform bhakti unto Krishna. And that bhakti is effectively performed in two ways. One, ahaituki, two, apratihata. Ahaituki means intention must be pure. Apratihata means intensity. Ahaituki is intention, apratihata is intensity. Apratihata means the practice of bhakti should be consistent, regular. We should not have irregularity in bhakti, inconsistency in the practice of bhakti, but we should consistently practice bhakti without any interruptions. Unmotivated, uninterrupted bhakti. Causeless and seamless bhakti. Selfless and seamless bhakti, causeless and ceaseless bhakti. Or intense, the right intention and the right intensity. That matters. Right? So, intention definitely has to be pure, no doubt. But apart from the intention, there should be consistency and intensity in the practice of bhakti. Then anyone from any background can connect with Krishna. Even a 5-year-old child like Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruva Maharaj, even one who is born in a maid servant's family like Narada Muni in his past life, even one who is born in a demoniac dynasty like Bali Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj, all of them can become pure devotees. Children can become pure devotees, men can become pure devotees, women can become pure devotees, Brahmanas can become pure devotees, Kshatriyas can become pure devotees. Anybody from any background can become pure devotees. So, by the grace of the Lord, when there is intensity and right intention. There is this beautiful shloka that describes how one who is practicing bhakti intensely is not distracted or diverted or discouraged by any kind of obstacle. Right? Obstacles cannot obstruct absorption in bhakti if we have determination. We can see that in the example of 5th canto, Bhagavatam, Prevrata Maharaj was counseled by Brahma. There he says, obstacles cannot obstruct your absorption in bhakti, right? If you are determined. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna pada bhujan Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grihnantu munchantu va Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostu va Tadrik premadharanu raga madhuna mattayamanam tumi Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi. Let the mind not get distracted from meditation on Krishna's lotus feet even for a moment. Chittam naiva nivartate kshanamapi Sri Krishna padambujan Nindantu priya bandhava. Sometimes our own relatives may criticize us. Nindantu priya bandhava. Gurujana. Even elders also can sometimes criticize us or discourage us. Gurujana. Just like Shanda and Amarka were criticizing Prahlad Maharaj for worshipping Lord Hari. Nindantu priya bandhava gurujana grihnantu munchantu va. Let them accept us or reject us. Doesn't matter. I will not reject Krishna's lotus feet. I will not distract myself from meditation on Krishna's lotus feet. Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostu va. Durvadam means let people spread gossip about me. Let people bite each other's ears about me. No problem. Means let them spread gossip about me, but still I will not give up my bhakti. Govinda bhakti. Bhakti is an eternal asset, and public opinion is a temporary phase. So people may comment us or praise us. Those who praise us today will not praise us tomorrow. Those who criticize us today may forget us tomorrow. So why should we give so much of value to this criticism or praise and compromise on our bhakti? But Krishna will never leave us for the rest of eternity. He has been with us since time immemorial. By giving importance to the opinions or the comments of common people around us, why should we compromise on our connection with Krishna? Durvadam parighoshayantu manuja vamshe kalankostu va. Some people say that by practicing bhakti, this person is bringing a bad name and ill reputation to their family. Family members may say, no one has become like this in our home. We are jumping up and down on the streets. No one has done like this. You are going and living in temple. You should go to temple for 5 minutes and come back. No one has done like this in our dynasty. No one has shaved our head in our dynasty. So we are having this as permanent hairstyle. So people may say, Vamshe Kalankostava. But that Vamsha is temporary. One may take birth in some dynasty. That is only for that one lifetime. Next life they will take birth in another dynasty. Or maybe in animal kingdom, who knows? Or a different species, different planet, different universe, different body. Then Vamsha changes. But our connection with Krishna will never change. Right? Tadrik prema dharanu raga madhuna mattaya manam tumi. Tadrik prema dharanu raga madhuna. Prema. As long as we are experiencing that prema of Krishna, we will not give up that connection with Krishna. But are we experiencing prema of Krishna? If we carefully notice, we are experiencing Krishna's love. We may not express our love for Krishna in the conditioned state, but if we are carefully observant, Krishna is showering so much of love upon us. Tadrak prema dharanu raga madhuna. Madhu, very sweet. Krishna's feelings for his devotees are sweet. Krishna's emotions and affection for all the souls who are his parts and parcels, that is so sweet. If you are experiencing that sweetness of Krishna prema, then we will not give up. Even in sadhaka stage, We may not be very evolved spiritualists, evolved devotees, we may not be pure devotees or Shuddha Bhaktas or Mahabhagavatas, even as struggling sadhakas also, if we introspect little bit, if we contemplate little bit, if we carefully observe little bit, we can understand how much Krishna loves us. If we just observe our own lives, we can think, we can understand, do I have the qualification to chant Krishna's names? Do I have the qualification to read and speak and hear Bhagavatam, such a pure literature? Am I qualified to associate with such exalted devotees around me? What is my qualification to come and regularly take darshan of these beautiful deities? Kantimala we are wearing, Vaishnava Tilak we are wearing, representing a bona fide, glorious Vaishnava Sampradaya. Do I have the qualification to actually be so? If we contemplate on our own background, if we carefully consider our own contaminated consciousness, we'll understand we are not qualified for all the spiritual privileges that we have received. That will overwhelm our hearts with gratitude for Krishna. That will help us recognize how much Krishna loves us. Love includes giving a privilege to someone who is not qualified for that privilege. But Krishna has given us so many spiritual privileges, although we didn't desire them, we didn't deserve them, we are not qualified for them. At least you all may be qualified, I am not qualified, I can clearly say. Despite all my shortcomings and disqualifications, Krishna is allowing me to serve Him, allowing me to associate with His devotees, allowing me to receive so much of love and affection from so many Vaishnavas. So when we notice that, when we are carefully observant of this fact, then we can understand how much Krishna loves us. Even if the living being commits such abominable, sinful activities and becomes a dog or a cat or a worm in stool also, Krishna doesn't leave that soul. Krishna accompanies that soul by being right within their hearts as Super Soul, as Paramatma. How much Krishna loves us. Although the conditioned souls are not interested in their relationship with Krishna, Krishna is so eager to revive his relationship with them. He is trying to constantly give us opportunities in the form of devotees and books, shastras and deities, and in many other forms he is trying to reclaim us because he loves us, right? So spiritual life can be better practiced by recognizing how much Krishna loves us and being grateful to Krishna for that love. Krishna is not saying only adults can practice bhakti, even kids can practice bhakti. That's what so many examples we have seen in today's purport. Krishna is saying anyone can, from any background, can practice bhakti. You practice bhakti, I'll take care of you. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nitya abhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. You just focus on your devotion towards me without any distractions or deviations. You be committed, you maintain your pure intention and good intensity, sufficient. I will take care of you. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of your spiritual welfare and even material welfare also. And if that material welfare conflicts with spiritual welfare, I give priority to spiritual welfare. Right? Again, some people, whenever they hear this statement, Yogakshemam vahamyaham, they will feel, oh, I am having so much financial crisis. How is Krishna compromising on his promise of Yogakshemam vahamyaham? No. Yogakshemam vahamyaham means whatever is conducive for our spiritual progress, Krishna will supply that. Whatever is favorable for our bhakti, Krishna will preserve that. If it is unfavorable, Krishna will take it away. If it is not conducive for our spiritual practice, Krishna will not give it to us. Krishna will not supply. So that's how Krishna is taking care of our bhakti at every step. When Krishna said, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham, yoga means our attempt to connect with Krishna. connecting our consciousness with the Supreme. We hear this definition, right? Linking our consciousness with the Supreme Lord. That is yoga. That is our job. We are supposed to do that yoga. Kshema means Krishna's reciprocation with our endeavor. Yoga means our effort to connect with Krishna. Yoga means our endeavor to connect with Krishna. Kshema means Krishna's reciprocation with that endeavor. He gives us prosperity and protection. But Krishna did not say Kshemam Vahamiham only. He said Yoga Kshemam Vahamiham. Means I will take care of your yoga also. I will keep you in the practice of bhakti also, provided you desire it. Right? If your desire is to continue on the path of bhakti, I will take every single measure to keep you on the path of bhakti. I will help you. I will help you and assist you even in your yoga practice also. Not that you do yoga on your own, I will come and give you kshema. Not like that. Yoga vahamyaham and kshema vahamyaham. So even the inspiration that we have to serve Krishna, to love Krishna, to practice bhakti, to associate with devotees, even that is also coming from Krishna only. We are praying to Krishna. Even that ability to offer prayers also comes from Krishna only. But we should desire to offer prayer. Desire is ours, willingness is ours. Krishna doesn't force us. Krishna doesn't forcefully make us prayerful. Krishna doesn't forcefully hypnotize. Oh, you pray to me. You serve me. You associate with my devotees. He doesn't force. He doesn't want forced love. But as soon as we have that even small desire to connect with him, Krishna will fan that spark. He will give all assistance. That is the mercy of Krishna. So, Dhruva Maharaj, with a material motive, wanted to worship the Lord. Krishna immediately said, Narada Muni, go and guide him. Prahlad Maharaj offered a prayer to the Lord on behalf of Bali Maharaj. He said, oh Lord, please show some mercy on my grandson Bali Maharaj. Immediately the Lord came as Vamardev and showed so much mercy on Bali Maharaj. So many devotees are praying for us. If only we desire to advance in bhakti sincerely, Krishna will give all facilities, and his devotees are even more merciful, they give all assistance. But what's the main problem with a conditioned soul is they don't sincerely desire to advance in bhakti. It's the desire. So whole bhakti boils down to how we effectively use our minute independence to desire, to make a choice to serve Krishna, to connect with Krishna. So let us acknowledge the grace of Krishna and his accommodativeness and his mercy in not seeing our background but just seeing only our sincerity and helping us in advancing in bhakti. So with this I'll conclude. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.